Hey everybody, what's going on? It's DFS Syracuse here, bringing you guys a new video, how to build an MLB cash lineup. You can use this toward DraftKings or FanDuel. Today I'm going to talk about DraftKings. That's primarily what I play, but you're more than welcome to use it for FanDuel. Most of you guys know I am a big advocate on cash games. Cash games are where I make most of my money. GPPs are a nice hit when you hit them. But most of you guys know, and from watching my videos, I do 80% cash every night, and my cash has been on fire this year for MLB. I think I've had maybe, since MLB started, maybe 3 losing days in cash. My cash has been off the chart. So I put a little video together to show you guys primarily what I'm looking at, just trying to help you guys out that are either struggling or new to MLB. So let's get into the video. The first thing I do when I'm putting together my lineup every morning is pitching. I start with my pitchers and I build from there down. I never start with hitting. Pitching is for cash games is extremely important. So what I look at when I'm first thing in the morning when I'm trying to find who I like for pitchers is I look at pitchers that have a high strikeout percentage with a low SyraCuseeee. Any of you guys that don't know what SyraCuseeee is, up top I'll post a link of my last video where I talk about that and I go over it so you guys can sort of have an idea of what you're looking for and how it can help you with pitching. So I look at those two things, and I also look at the Vegas lines. I like to find pitchers that have a minus 170 or higher. Most of the time, you can find 2-3 guys and the big favorites. Now, if they have a high strikeout percentage, low SyraCuseeee, and a great Vegas line, lock them in because those are very hard to come by, and they're probably going to be pitchers that you definitely want to roster. You don't want to mess around with pitching. You want to take the best pitcher that night and lock them in. You want safe options that are consistently doing well. You want guys that if they're getting 20 in 6 straight games, 20 DK points or whatever it is on FanDuel that's consistent, you want to lock those guys in. You don't want a guy that gets 30, 8, and then a 30 and a 4, and a 30 and a 6. Lock the guys in that are consistent. And the other thing that I do is I try to stay away from pitchers that are anywhere at Coors, Chase Field, Progressive Park. That's me personally. I feel like those 3 ballparks are probably the toughest for pitchers based on the video I did maybe a couple weeks ago. So I try to lock in 2 pitchers. I try to spend anywhere from, I would say, $16,000 to $19,000 on DK for my 2 pitchers. That's me personally. Like I said, this is what works for me. As far as hitting, these are all things that you need to take into consideration when picking hitters. Each one has its own little nuance that can help you out when you're trying to pick hitters. This is what I look at. It's all things I take into consideration when I pick my hitters every night. I look at WOBA versus the handiness of the pitcher. WOBA, for you guys that don't know, is weighted on base average versus the handiness. So if he's a lefty, I look at WOBA versus lefties, and I try to find guys that get on base a lot. You want points. You do not want zeros. For cash games, zeros will kill you. So if I can get a guy that gets me 5 points every single night, I'll take him in a heartbeat over a guy that gets me 12 every 3 nights. You want a guy that's going to get on base, get you points. They get on base, you're getting points on DraftKings. So I try to look at guys that have a good WOBA versus the handiness of the pitcher that they're facing. You want batters that have a good BVP against a specific pitcher. Every day, that's one of the first things I look at also as far as hitters is I go over BVPs. There's a few places that you can find them. If you're unfamiliar where to find them, ask. Be more than welcome to help you. And I try to find a guy or two that has a very good BVP and see if I can incorporate them into my lineup. Because if they see it, for instance, the guy's got 40 at bats and he's batting 500 over 40 at bats and he's only struck out twice in 40 at bats, he probably sees the pitcher very well, and it's something that you want to do. You don't, because you want guys, you'll see it down in the bottom, that don't strike out. And if they don't strike out and they're seeing the pitcher very well, it's somebody I'm going to want to roster, especially if all these other factors intertwine with that guy. I try to target batters that are going against a bad pitcher every day. Like I said, when you're looking at pitchers, you not only do you want to look at the good ones, you want to look at the bad ones and see what offenses are going up against the bad ones, and you can try to target a few of them. You want to try to target teams that have a high Vegas total. If a team's projected to score 5 to 6 runs that night and they're at the top of the list, you're going to want a few guys from those guys. For instance, let's see, if the Rockies are playing at home and they got an implied total of like 6 or 7, you're going to want a few Rockies. and you take all these other things, incorporate them, and try to find the 1 or 2 guys that you're going to want that night. When looking for cheap batters, you want to look at batters on teams that score a lot and are batting in the 1 through 5 spots in a lineup. So if you have a team that's supposed to score a ton of runs that night, and they got a guy batting in a leadoff spot, and he's really cheap, that can get you some value, and that's something that you're going to want to look at. So you want to target guys that are in good offenses, that are batting in a 1 through 5 hole, and they're getting and they're cheap, So something else you want to look at: avoid batters that strike out a lot. Like I said, you want guys that are going to put the ball in play. They put the ball in play, things can happen. If a guy's missing the ball and he's not making contact, he's not going to get you any points. He's not going to help you. Even if he gets lucky in that one at bat, he hits a home run. It's still not something you're going to want to roster in cash games. And the other thing I do is I try not to use more than 2 to 3 players from the same team when I'm doing cash games. Primarily, I like to do 2 short slates. I think it's all right 3. I mean, you can take a chances with 3, but you got to hit it, because if you don't hit it, it's also going to hurt you. So these are tips that I use when I'm building cash games. There's other little factors that you can incorporate. We'll go through that in some more videos down the road of other things that I look at. And if you do this every night and you're consistent with it, I guarantee you're going to be a winner at cash games. So this is DFS Syracuse, and if you guys are not members already of the DFSArmy.com, hit me up. I can get you 20% off with the code CUSEEE. We have some amazing coaches that put in a ton of content every night. It's the amount of information that we have is awesome. They help build lineups and do everything, and give you pretty much all the tools you can to be a winner. And if you're not winning, then you're doing something wrong at this website, because I'm telling you what, the coaches and the people are amazing. So hope this video helped you guys. If you got any questions, be sure to hit me up in the comment box or on Twitter, or if you're already a member of the DFS Army, you're more than welcome to send me a private message if you got a few questions. So hope this video helped you guys. I'll have some more coming up in the next couple days. Catch you later. Peace.